All right. Here we go. What's up? What's going on, family?
What's good with y'all today? Taco
Hey,
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
Tacos
whatever.
Tuesday.
Did you have tacos today?
Nah, I had a banana, some cotton candy grapes, and a banana cream pie ice blizzard. And those three things I had today.
Okay. And did you like the cotton candy grapes?
Yeah, I like those. That's why I bought them. I like them.
Oh, okay. So you ain't new to this. You true to this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thanks.
all right.
How's yours day?
All right.
How's
Hmm,
your day, Kenya? I see you got the braids in.
it was
She handled it.
okay. Work.
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 You all
We've
right?
been busy. We've been busy. We people are getting out,
It's
doing what they're
back. It's
supposed
back.
to. Yeah.
Even the
Um,
roads is like that.
I feel like my workload has doubled, if not tripled.
Now, do you feel like you were spoiled during the pandemic with your work slowing down?
I wasn't spoiled, but it was nice to have that little break. But it's like now that I really have to work, I'm like, what am I doing here? um, I worked through the whole pandemic. I wasn't fortunate enough to be able to work from home or not work, or that's not even fortunate, but um, so I worked throughout the whole pandemic. My days were cut down just
Mhm.
for a short period of time. So just for like a month or two, but it wasn't even, you know.
Yeah.
So
How's your day so far, Jess?
It's going all right. Busy. As you know, since I started this new position, I ain't got time to fool la la like I used to. So I mean, whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah, my son's birthday's today. He turned 21.
happy
You got a
birthday.
21-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
These
Yep.
kids is getting old.
Yeah.
Shit.
He getting old. I'm getting older.
No, you're getting better. They're getting old. You're getting better. That's what I say anyway.
I am getting better now. I will say that much. And older now.
Shit. My oldest is about to be old. Shit.
Jessica don't even know. I told
Mm-mm.
her having an older daughter is like having another girlfriend.
Why? Because of the amount of
I
money you spent.
bet.
Swear.
Cause I know she want her hair done, her nails did,
Mm-hmm.
outfits.
Everything.
How old is your daughter, Tavi?
14.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because my baby just turned 13 and
I'm
I
like,
told her
dang.
she need a job. I be seeing little posts about, my little my broke best friend or whatever. No, I don't want that.
Mm-mm.
I'm not taking that on.
Right.
You gotta get a job. She want her nails done. She wants pink. She wants Uggs, Jordans. What you name it? You
And you
name
just
it.
naming you just naming the little stuff. You ain't even naming what they want as gifts and things like that.
Well, yeah.
You just naming you just naming their attire.
Everything. Yeah, that's what they want when they go. And on top of that, they want money to go to the movies, go get ice cream, go to the mall, just go to the store. My kids is always begging for shit.
She want
I
this
don't
new
know.
salon mannequin head so she can start doing hair on. I was thinking,
Oh, okay.
but I was thinking to myself like 4 years ago, didn't I buy you something like that? Maybe it wasn't that expensive back then.
Well, in her defense, they do shed. I bought Kennedy a mannequin head last Christmas. I think it was maybe not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before that.
Yeah.
I bought her a mannequin head because that's what she wanted to do. And so we encourage our children. Like, so if she wants to do hair or feel like that's what she want to do, I
Yeah.
bought the mannequin head. I bought all types of shit. But it did shed. The hair did shed. So in her defense, she might need a new one.
Yeah.
This year, my baby took on she wants to do nails. So
Uh-huh.
I ordered all the nail stuff, the
Yeah.
acrylic,
The nail
the
tech stuff.
gel stuff, the light.
Yes.
Um so
She started that
yeah. Did she start what?
doing her nail. I mean, doing the nails and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She
Yep.
do. She do a good
She's
job.
practicing.
Okay.
She's practicing, and I told her practice makes perfect. They look a mess now. She got the little fake mannequin hand. I got her the little so she could practice on that. And it's a mess right now, but I told her keep practicing.
Practicing
I
makes
mean, you never know.
perfect.
My other daughter, if I feel like if she would have kept doing nails, she probably would be good now because she did it for like a year and a half, and she got better and better, and then she just stopped. So I don't know.
The
I
hardest
need
thing
them to leave
about
me alone and my pockets, please.
I think the hardest
Where?
thing about doing either of those things might not be necessarily doing it. Once you get it down, it might be cool. I think it's the people you come in contact with. Oh my goodness. Can
But
you
I
imagine
think like when it comes
doing
to our
people's
kids,
nails?
I'm kind of like glad that they're in the position that they're in. That we're in a position to be able to give them a lot of the things that they want because when we were younger, we didn't necessarily get that. So, I mean, I don't think there's, especially with our black kids, I don't think there's nothing wrong with them being spoiled or quote unquote spoiled. I don't think it's spoiled per se. You know, you're,
I'm not, yeah, I wouldn't call it spoiled at all.
No,
yeah.
my
So,
my kids aren't spoiled, but they do get things that they want
And the
mm-hmm,
older they
a lot.
get, the things they want gets more expensive.
Yes,
mm-hmm,
facts.
yeah.
And
So,
that's
so
where
I don't
I'm
really
at
think
now.
there's a, I
I'll
think
let
we've come into a mindset where it's like we're in a survival type mode. And I think like this generation, like us as parents, we're getting out of that. You know what I mean? So I think that's a good thing for our kids. You know what I mean? That
Well,
makes
I
sense.
always told my kids that they needed to have a job for the extras that they want, i.e., getting their nails done, a cell phone, and stuff like that. We got away from it with the younger two. And that's only because the times have changed. Because when the older ones, when cell phones first came out, they weren't a must. And so now, in today, it's almost like it is a must that they
Mm-hmm.
have phones. Like, you know what I mean? I feel safer knowing that my kids have phones. So it's like, okay, now I got to get on my phone and pay their bill. Whereas in my older kids, they didn't get their cell phones until they had their little first little job, so they was able to pay for them.
yeah.
So
Mm-hmm. That's how we were. My 8-year-old is asking for a cell phone. And I'm like, no.
My aunt, my aunt that just recently passed, God rest her soul. I love her and I miss her. She bought my baby her first cell phone on her 8th birthday. She
Oh.
didn't ask for permission. Like, is this okay that I do this? For your daughter or whatever.
She
But
was
she
like, we
did
about
things
to go
like
get a
that.
phone.
She went and bought her a phone, and it was turned on, and I consumed the bill.
Oh. Okay.
She knew you could
Yeah.
afford it. It was in her heart to go get her a phone.
Yep. Yep.
So,
So yeah, Kennedy had her phone ever since she was 8.
oh, nice.
I
So
think
wait, so
So
though,
I got a question. So Tom, you brought up this whole Usher Bucks debacle. What's this about?
basically a stripper tried to clown Usher or shame him for throwing his Usher Bucks in the crowd at a strip club or at the strippers in the strip club, which she failed to release the other portion of the statement, which would be the more important portion, that it was promotion for his residency in Vegas, and that he already spun a lot of money with that club at that time. So at first, the meme and things were super funny. Like, you know what I mean? It was like, how can Usher do this? Celebrities suck. They always doing dumb shit. But after a while, I'm like, I like it. I like it a lot.
You need some Usher Bucks?
Yeah, I want some Usher Bucks. But I definitely like it. I think that's a great way to promote promotion.
I'd like some Usher Bucks too, low key.
Because they don't look bad. They look really like $100 bill.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think it was a good marketing idea on his
I do too.
behalf. I just think that the again, people just take stuff and run with it. One, people clout chase. Two, maybe the stripper girl needed to get popping and she was excited that Usher made it rain on her. So she just said that, like leaving out the other part of it. He threw those Usher bucks to promote his residency in Vegas coming up. So I think it was a good marketing idea.
And another
Yeah.
thing, like Kenya was saying, people take things and run with it. I want to go back to last week, how many people was talking about DMX passing away before he passed away. Like, people need to check their facts before they just come out and say whatever. And sorry
And
about
with
that.
their opinions. What I'm
I,
having a hard time with that, being that you brought that up, Tavi,
uh,
what I'm having a hard time is people keep associating his death with a drug overdose, and his family never said that. So I really want to know where that came from. They still never confirmed it, nor did they deny it, and I just feel like it's really disrespectful because he has a known drug history. That doesn't mean that necessarily he had a drug overdose and had a heart attack and died. From what I
he could
know,
have had COVID. Like, I
well,
don't
from what I know that the family released is that he got a COVID vaccination and he had a heart attack and that was that. Like they didn't say anything about a drug
now,
overdose or anything.
now,
So
even if he didn't get a drug overdose and that COVID's the way he passed, like the way they treat it, they don't do that to the white people.
Mm.
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
so
They
But
do
I
not do
think
that to the white people.
I, what I heard was that it was a heart attack induced by a drug overdose. So
yeah, who said that? Who started that?
I don't know, but a lot of media outlets are reporting
That sounds like some TMZ shit.
it.
I just want to know if that's the facts because I follow him and then like the videos that I seen days looking up like he never looked better like he looked good. I immediately thought that you know because you can have a heart attack from multiple things like you know what I'm saying and I know he did pick up a lot of weight like did y'all see him during the verses like he was winded like you know what I'm saying like that could have played a part in
And his
um
heart probably might have been already weak from when he was already
mhm
on drugs when he
mhm
was young. Yeah,
mhm.
anything could have
Hmm.
played a part of that. You know what I mean? His
Yeah.
weight plus the COVID, all that. Like,
His family put out another statement today because they said that people were selling merchandise. I guess they were
nasty.
lying, saying that it was for his funeral. They said that they're not strapped for money. They don't need no donations or help to pay for his funeral. They also um, crushed the statements that was put out about his music. They said something about Jay-Z and Beyonce banning his masters and
For the
giving them to his
kids.
kids and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, they
They
said
said
that
that
didn't
that
happen.
they said that that's not true either. So,
What? How could that
yeah,
be false? Like, how could they even let that come out like that? That's crazy.
Yeah, but
it only
even when
takes
they
for one
rebutted it,
person to post something or say something, and shit just spreads like wildfire.
Don't nobody fact
Wildfires.
check. They'll just
Nobody.
repost. Repost,
Yeah,
repost.
people share, and nobody's fact checking. Nobody's really reading into it. It could have been as simple as them saying that's something that they wanted to do
Yeah,
or
because
would
I was thinking
like
it
to
wouldn't have been
do,
that
and
easy.
it turned into something that they did, and it just went from there.
That's what I'm saying. I
yeah.
don't think it would be that easy just to get somebody master as soon as they die. Like, I think there might have to be a whole process.
And I
Yeah,
mean, I
and who's to say DMX even owned his own masters?
He don't own his own masters. That's what they was trying to say.
right.
Because I think it's Def Jam. So they was
Yes.
trying to say Beyonce and them was doing bad from Def Jam and just give it to his kids, which I guess is totally false.
Which I mean, that would be a good deed in and of itself. But I would think the first person I would think of to buy the masters would probably be Swizzy.
Well, the first thing is you're not buying nothing without
If it
actually
ain't for sale.
discussing it with the family. You're gonna discuss it with the family before you go out and say anything.
Well, that and if they ain't for sale, you can't
They
buy
ain't
it.
for sale.
They definitely ain't for sale, and them
They
shits definitely went up.
they
So
definitely ain't for sale, and that might be keeping the lights on in Def Jam. To be honest, I
Really?
don't even know who's on Def
at
Jam.
this time and point, yes, it's going to keep them on for a little while longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't even
Because
know
don't
who's
y'all
on
know
Def
when I
Jam.
went to the gym, I seen somebody in the parking lot with their doors open to their car pumping DMX.
What
Yeah.
he had like 4 songs in the top 10 or something like that.
They and they said that the streamings and the downloads for him like went up over these past
I
couple of
can't
days, which
imagine.
Absolutely.
The downloads is probably so crazy. So I might have to
yeah.
download this Dark and Hell is Hot.
Swear that was the joint.
Man, I listen. I mean, it's
But see,
really
I
really sad
stream
that he's
more.
no longer here, and I feel like we're all almost desensitized to death as a whole because people just like he passed away and people are already trying to sell t-shirts and they doing concerts and putting his face on it. They already talking about who would play him, who in the movie, who wouldn't play him. Like, let that man get in the ground. Like, just be respectful. Like, people, I just feel like a lot of people aren't respectful to people passing. Although we didn't know him personally, that man was somebody's loved one. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure his kids are hurting, his ex-wife, his fiance, like his family is hurting, and people are talking about who not to play him, who could play him. And I've seen a lot of people expressing their condolences. A lot of celebrities expressing their condolences, and then I've seen a lot of celebrities expressing their condolences, but in the fact that he was fighting demons, and he had this drug history. I don't like that shit. Like, if you're going to say your condolences or whatever, like, say
Yeah,
that. Like, you
salute
don't have to add
him.
the
Salute him.
bullshit in. I feel like that's bullshit. You know?
Right.
And look, on a positive note, though, too, like you were saying, I've seen a lot of people definitely from the bottom of their heart
Yes.
giving him his flowers. Even white people. I've seen a lot of people just giving him his flowers. But like you said, anything, because people don't even do that with Heath Ledger. You know what I mean? People talk about him passing away, and that's it. They don't talk about his drug history and all of that. They don't do that with white people. So we definitely need to just let X live. And
well, when you bring out specifically Heath Ledger, I think that they did talk about that in the beginning. They did, but I don't think they talk about it now. But in the beginning, when he first passed, they did.
Yeah, because they still talk about it for Whitney Houston. They don't, you know what I mean? They don't.
Yeah.
When you hear about Whitney Houston dying, the next thing you hear is overdose.
Yeah, and her drug history and all of that, all of that shit. I think it's bullshit. I really do. I feel like it's disrespectful to the family.
Listen, you don't hear nothing about her voice or nothing. No.
Yeah.
Well, we know Whitney was the voice.
So,
absolutely.
I mean.
So that's all they need to let X live as a legend. And
now here's my thing. Like I came to the conclusion that X was a legend after he passed. Did you guys consider him a legend before he passed?
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
Okay. I don't think I really thought about it before then. But then
he was definitely in. If there was a top 10, I always want to start with top five, but there's so many, so I narrowed it down for the top 10, and DMX is definitely in that top 10 for me.
But I feel like before he passed, I didn't really see him on a lot of people's top 10.
He should have been.
He probably
He
nah.
should have been, but I didn't really
I would
hear
say
him
he's.
I'm just
consistently
speaking
in
for
the
me
top 10.
personally. In my
Listen,
top 10, he's in there.
no, he probably is in your top 10, and I wouldn't never dispute that. But he's not a sexy pick for a top 10, like a commercial top 10. Does that make sense?
I mean,
It
I guess,
does.
but I just before he passed, I never heard nobody say DMX in my top 10.
I think people around our age, you probably would, not like younger people, because I feel like a lot of older people wouldn't put Drake in their top 10.
He
I
wouldn't be a
didn't.
man.
Exactly, but when you look at the list that, like, you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the list, the commercial list, he's definitely in the top 10.
I mean,
I'm just
I would think so, but I'm thinking about like I think I really had to do like a retrospect on DMX and like really like what he did and how
Changed the
he was a
game.
battle rapper, a freestylist, all that. And then I'm like, yeah, he definitely do deserve top 10 status, but I don't think that I have heard um anybody say that DMX was in their top 10 before he died.
in
Andre
your
Young.
top
For
three. I
some
know
reason,
that's
DMX is
right.
in my top 3.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. People like
Yeah.
our age, I think we definitely consider Exeter, because we heard him on those clues ripping people up as far as that we thought was the better lyricist. We heard him on songs with Jada Kiss and Chic, Luke Styles P, and we heard him have the best verse. Shit, he had the best verse on the 24
He
Hours to
makes the
Live.
songs. He
Yeah,
made
he
them.
be
Mm-hmm.
making songs.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
He
he
made
might not
them.
have the best lyrics, but he definitely make the best songs.
Yeah, definitely did. He made the songs, but I don't know. I just don't remember a lot of people like mentioning him in their top 10, while he was alive.
I will have to
That's
go back and look at somebody's list to say that DMX far as just like an all around artist, like what he did, his record sales and all of that. I don't see how he couldn't be in somebody's top 10. Like,
And if somebody didn't mention him, that is probably because he might not have been in the top of their head. But if you got anybody asking, DMX is up
period,
there. Yeah, he's up there.
period.
Like if I didn't put him on my top 10 and you said something like, oh, but what about DMX? I'm like, oh, then I'll have to
yeah,
restructure it. You know what I
right,
mean?
right. Because I mean, I was talking to y'all even last time we got together about how when DMX came out, like it was like something I had never heard before, and I really, really, loved him after that. But I don't remember like when people do their top 10 list, people putting him on the list. I just don't.
You might be right. I like
I
Kenya said,
mean,
I
you
like
might be right. Yeah, that's why I
yeah.
said I would have to go back and look and you see where they coming from with that, because they might be hating why they ain't put them in there.
I swear.
Yes, they
Swear.
are.
All three is classics, definitely. That's what we were talking about last week. But I don't know though. Top 10. Whew. Look, I don't know, because I got my top one. My top one might not even be Biggie or Pac though. I think my top one is probably
Jay-Z.
no, probably for me, like from the influence that I had as a younger
Dre
person,
3000.
probably Rakim probably is my number one.
Okay.
And then Nas might be second. Then Jay-Z might be 3rd.
Mhm.
Biggie 4th. And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
because I feel like I played more Nas when I was younger than Jay-Z and Biggie, honestly. I played a lot of Nas.
But you know what? It's so crazy because like you look at like even now listening to Biggie's records, Biggie was like a phenomenal storyteller, and it just was like I still don't know anybody who is comparable to him as far as being a storyteller on his records. I just don't.
They say Scarface is, but
Yeah,
you gotta like that down south type of rap.
I love the down south music, the
Yeah, they say
artists.
Yeah.
Scarface. They actually say Scarface is the best storyteller in the game.
Y'all
I
know
can
what?
see
I
that.
mean, this might be a stretch, but as far as down south music, I can tell y'all my favorite song from down south music would be "My Mind Is Playing Tricks on Me" by Ghetto Boys.
Mm.
Probably my favorite.
I don't know though, man. I don't know if that's my favorite, but
See,
there's
I'm a down south fan, so I
there's
got I
so
got I
many.
got 8 Ball and MJG on my
That's
man.
what
I
I was
got
about to say.
UGK on my man. I got Scarface on my man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just
Look, you know what was hard back in the day? That even Tila had some hard songs back then.
I just listened to him. I just listened to him. Yes.
JT Money, Trick Daddy, all of them. They all had some
Uh,
hard.
hmm
Yeah.
Trick Daddy was one of the hardest for a while there.
yeah.
Yeah, but
So
we getting off on a because I know we wanted to talk about some other stuff. We started off on the Usher Bucks. Usher Usher was out here giving bucks with
I
his
don't even know
face
how we
on it.
got to
Yes,
where we
Usher,
got to.
we do want some Usher
it
Bucks,
just it just
but
it just went and went.
it went and went. But I wanted to know, Kenya, can you give us a background on the police shooting of Dante Wright?
Okay, so Dante Wright is yet another young black male who was gunned down by the police 2 days ago. I think it was 2 days ago. I feel like he's 20 years old. He The incident was caught on camera. He was pulled over. What I found out today was he was actually pulled over for obstruction
View. I got pulled
of
over
view.
for that because you got
For,
the scents on the rear view
the air
mirror.
fresheners was hanging down from
Yeah,
Who
his
gets
rear
pulled
view
over for
mirror.
that?
I got pulled over for that before in the White Town too. And they
Really?
and the look, the chief of police told me they do that in case they think people got drugs on them. That's the easy way to pull them over.
What?
He told me that.
But and it's racial profiling.
It
It's
is.
racial
Look,
profiling, and
Absolutely.
when I was up against
he,
the car, I'm sitting there pointing at other cars that got them on the thing. I'm look, they got them, they got them.
yeah,
They like,
yes.
sir, can you please calm down? I'm like, why would y'all pull me over for that? And then
That's a number one reason why we never did that. Well, we never did that in my younger days because it was you would get pulled for that. That's a
right, even
fact.
if you get pulled for that, you shouldn't get taken out of your car though. I
No,
was taken out
or
of mine
killed,
and him.
or even after they ran his license plate
Oh man.
and said something about the registration. But the registration was good. He had insurance. I guess he didn't have the insurance card on him. He was on the phone with his mom,
Yeah, and she was
and
gonna
his
tell me
girlfriend
that.
was in the car. And for them to run his name after they gave him, his name, and they pulled him out the car or whatever. From the video cameras that I seen, I felt like it just went from 0 to 1,000 really quick when it didn't have to. They pulled him out of his car. I don't know why he jumped back in his car. His mom
Because he
said
was getting arrested. He shouldn't have been
his
getting
mom said he
arrested.
was scared of the police. He's 20 years old. Shit, I'm not 20, but I'm scared too because you don't know what they're going to do. You don't know what they're going to do, and see what happened. See what they did. Um, the chief of police put out this narrative now that everybody has taken and run with it. All the media outlets is that
What?
the officer Kim Porter accidentally pulled her gun instead of her
Instead of
taser.
taser. You hear say taser,
Um,
taser, taser.
yeah, so we have learned today that the chief of police has resigned. Kim Porter, the murderer cop, the cop murderer, um, she resigned as well. I also learned that she was the president of the police union.
She
Um,
should
so
be being on the force for 26 years.
so in my mind, what that told me was she knows exactly what to do and what not to do. She knows exactly what to say and what not to say, because her job ultimately as the president of the police union is to defend her comrades, her co-workers. You know what I mean? So I just think that at a time like this, no time is a good time, but at a time like this, and with the Derek Chauvin trial happening
in Minnesota.
just a couple of miles away, was really not a good thing. I
Right.
do want to commend the mayor for transparency yesterday and today. He did something that we don't see often, which is allowing activists, community activists, and other people like that in the press conferences, so they were able to ask
Right question.
they was able to ask the hard questions. They was able to address them directly, and we were able to hear that, and that's something that we haven't heard or we haven't seen. So that was good. What we now need is charges, an arrest, and a conviction. Boom, boom, boom.
Mm-hmm.
We need all the black people to move the fuck out of Minnesota. That's what we need. Sheesh.
Yeah,
Move the
because
fuck out the country, because this not just happening in Minnesota. We seen that. It's just really bad in Minnesota right now. But I'm afraid for when my son even says he's going out to hang with his friends, his younger friends. They're black males. They got their little license or whatever. These is young black boys. Like, I'm afraid. Like, you know what I'm saying? Such and such a coming in. Where y'all going? Call me when you get in the car. Call me when you get there. It's just the fear that we have that we should not have, but it's real. And
mm-hmm.
it's really sad. I did want to say that about Dante, he pled guilty to having a joint 2 years ago when Minneapolis supposedly decriminalized
We
weed. So why was he even charged there? But the warrant was for him not paying his fines for that for that charge or whatever.
Well,
He had to
because
pay a
I heard
fine.
somewhere that the warrant had something to do with some kind of gun charge.
I did not see
I
that.
definitely did hear that. I don't know what
I
true
didn't
there
see
is to
that.
that, but I heard that.
regardless, man, the obstruction of view, you shouldn't be getting told to get out your car.
I feel
Mm-hmm.
like he was racially profiled and um and killed by a 26-year veteran of the police department. She knows the weight of the taser and the gun is not the same. She knows from her own chief of police that the gun is on her dominant side because she's right handed and the taser is not. So
Mm-hmm.
she knows all of those things, and her screaming taser, taser, taser multiple times in those seconds, she was able to look in her hand, which is right in front of her face, to see that she had the wrong weapon in her hand. She knew that.
One's
She
yellow,
knew
one's
that.
black.
Mm-hmm.
One is 2 pounds heavier than the other one. It's like what?
It is. It is. So I mean, if anything, you would think that she would have second guessed it. Um, but I'm not really. I guess I'm not really sure how I would have reacted in that situation because the way the situation went, especially what I see in the video footage, is they're trying to handcuff him. He's breaking out of the handcuffs, getting into the car. So. Mm,
So what was they supposed to do?
I don't know. I could say if I put myself in the officer's shoes, that probably would scare me. It probably would.
See, my thing is, it's the whole. It's a blunder to me how he got taken out of the car instead of just getting this citation and being on his way.
Mm-hmm.
So that part's a goof up to me. It's a
Right.
goof up to make a big mistake to mistake your taser for a gun. If you
Mm-hmm.
meant the tasing, somebody shouldn't pay with that mistake with their life.
Right. Right.
So those two big goof ups all together, even if it's not like even if it is by accident, they deserve a punishment. Like those
Now,
are
do you think
two
that
goof ups you can't make as a cop.
uh, we're we understand what the officer did and it was wrong and all of that? Do you think that him breaking away, like from them cuffing him and getting into the car and trying to drive off, do you think that possibly, if he would not have made that choice, would have possibly contributed to him still maybe being alive?
If he decided not to get in his car that morning, he would be alive. Like, what are you saying? Like, you can't say that. I look at it more so she did the wrong thing. She didn't see
Can
him.
I not say that though? Because he definitely would have been in the wrong for resisting the arrest.
All right, but at that time,
And
you
trying
don't
to
kill
jump
him.
back in the car, because I did watch the video and I'm like,
You don't
oh,
kill
he
him.
shouldn't have did that.
You detain. You don't kill him though. That's why she was trying
You
to
don't.
talk to you.
You don't. So
You apprehend them.
I'm just giving a
He
nigga.
shouldn't have did that, and the police shouldn't have did a lot of things though too,
I'm
because
just giving a nigga point of view. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just confused. The part where I'm asking you questions and you're not answering the questions that I'm asking you, but you're trying to detain me, which is escalating my fear of the police.
Mm-hmm. And we do. I think Black people in general have a fear of the police, and it's rightfully so. Um, do you think that them running his information and seeing, from what I heard, if they saw that he had a warrant for a gun charge, could that have
I didn't
been?
see that.
You didn't? Okay.
I ain't saying it's not true, but I didn't see that. I read that the warrant was for fines that he didn't pay
Okay.
from a charge that he had from 2 years ago.
I don't know. I don't know how y'all Google's is. Mine is a little bit slow, but I don't know, Tom, if you have access. But I think that.
Nevertheless, here's my thing. As a
Okay.
26-year-old veteran of the police department, and knowing that it is extremely volatile in that area because of the Derek Chauvin trial, I feel like more common sense would have came into it. Because even if he did jump in that car and peeled off, you already ran the plate. Where was he? You already ran his name. You knew who he was. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
what was the danger? He didn't have a gun on him. He didn't pull out a gun there. There wasn't no drugs. Like, I'm just confused of a routine stop and a gun is being pulled out.
Mm.
Like, that's crazy.
And that's the part that I'm not like. A gun being pulled out for a stop is the weirdest shit ever. Like, but it always happens. Anytime you pull a gun out, whether you're a cop
so. Well,
or
what's the excuse for the army lieutenant in Virginia who is now suing those two officers? What shouldn't he have done? Because he did everything the right way, and he still. Good thing he didn't lose his life, but he was this close. He was this close to losing his life.
Now,
thank God he got sprayed with pepper spray.
He's going down.
For sure.
He's going down.
For sure.
Okay, so it says Dante Wright had an open warrant related to an armed robbery case against someone. He was shot dead Sunday by a cop who claimed she thought she
pulled the taser,
was firing her taser.
So he had an open warrant for a burglary charge.
Armed robbery.
Armed robbery.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
who posted that? What's the source?
The New York Post.
Okay.
But still, like, that's not.
I mean, it don't change my mind either.
I'm not saying it should change your mind, but what I'm not saying the police was right at all, but
I know.
what I'm saying is it kind of like puts me in perspective of how they might be legit
Aggressive.
afraid. You understand what I'm saying? Like you got an open warrant for a
So whenever
robbery
they got
or
the call back that he had a warrant, did they say it was a warrant for an armed robbery, or did they just say it was a warrant? Because those is technicalities, whereas the police officer
I don't know
needs
how
to
that
take
works. I
in.
don't know.
You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
I just, I don't know. Whereas the fear came into that,
Mm-hmm.
because they're going to say that he, even if that was the case, him resisting arrest, him jumping back in the car, he could have used the car as a weapon or
Well, even if
whatever. He
he
could have.
didn't, I see. I don't know, and I wish if somebody could tell me in the comments, if they knew. But if they ran him and figured they knew he had a warrant, but I don't know if it shows you what the warrant is for. If the warrant is for armed robbery, you're breaking away from the cuffs and jumping into your car. I really don't know if you're reaching for a gun. I don't. Like we have
Right,
everybody's a human being. So I'm looking at
right.
the police like they're a human being too. And that would give me some type of pause too. Because him jumping into that car and speeding off was not the smartest move either.
But at the end of the day, she ain't think he was trying to grab the gun because she went to go back to say she reached for her taser. She was trying to just apprehend them.
Mm-hmm.
You
So
know?
I mean, I don't know.
So I look
I
at
don't know.
it.
I just think it's really, really sad. And um,
We
from
know
what
when
I've
they got?
seen,
Do we know when they got the information back when they ran this stuff? Was it before they tried to arrest him, or was it after?
See, I don't, and this will be a good time to
well,
have
his mom
those
said
ones.
today that she was on the phone with him, and they kept telling him to get off the phone. He kept saying, they initially asked for the insurance information. So,
Mm-hmm.
but then in the midst of that, I guess the information came back, and they was like, "We're asking you to step out the car." He's like, "Why am I stepping out the car?" Like, you know what I'm saying? And they kept saying, "We'll explain to you once you get out the car." So I gotta go back and watch the video because there's audio too, so you can hear what they're saying. I just don't know. I just know that he did break away from him and jump back in the car,
Mm-hmm.
and taser, taser, taser was screamed a few times. There was a little scuffle, and she had that gun in her hand for enough time to know that it wasn't the taser, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I
So.
agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
And I also read that all of the shootings that occurred, not all of them were fatal, but all of the shootings that were occurred where the police officer alleged that it was an accident because they was reaching for their tasers. Now, is that an excuse?
Because that's what happened with that Oscar Grant.
Is that the movie that the Fruitville
Yeah,
Station was
yeah.
made from him?
Mm-hmm. It's the
Mm.
same thing.
So I mean, I just think that um the police um lacks skills and things, and there is just a fear of black people, period.
But I think that one thing, and this is where we can kind of like transition into the Derek Chauvin trial. We see that it's not a lack of training. It's not.
No, it's not.
They're thoroughly trained. It's not a lack of training at all. So what's going on with the? Because you have so many people testifying in this Derek Chauvin trial, willing to break that blue wall of silence and talk about his tenure as an officer, the amount of training he's had, all this stuff. It's not a matter of training. They're thoroughly trained.
Yeah. Well, I know that Barry, what was his name today? Barry Brody, or whatever the defense lawyer called on stage. I mean, called on the stand today. His expert witness can go to hell, and I hope that he don't ever be hired to train any police officers. So I hope that every state across the states are looking at him to know not to hire him, because he said that Derek Chauvin did absolutely nothing wrong in his expert opinion.
Who was this? I mean, today I didn't get a chance to like see. Can you give us a bit of background on it?
Okay, so today is what, Tuesday. The
13th.
prosecution rest yesterday, and the defense was able to call their witnesses to the stand today. And the first couple of witnesses was real fast. The female that was in the car with George and the other gentleman, she got subpoenaed by the defense to be on to be a witness today. So she was up there for a little bit of time. A nurse who treated uh George a couple of weeks prior to that, she got on there testifying that he told her he ate 7 or 9 Percocets within 20 minutes of each other. And a former police officer that arrested Derek Chauvin, I mean arrested
George
George
Floyd.
Floyd in 2019, a former cop. He was on stage. I
Did you
mean
see
on
that video?
I did see the video. He
He
was
telling
out
to
of
get
line.
out the
He
jail.
was out of line. He was out of line too, and it showed. And I'm just like, okay, that maybe that's why he's a former police officer, because everything he said that George was not coherent in that following orders. But if you look at the tape, George Floyd complied with everything that what he said. So it didn't make no sense. Like those witnesses, him and Barry, I want to say his name was Barry Brody, or
I didn't see that one.
today, a shit show, a shit show. And he's the defense witness, expert witness. He could go to hell with that expert witness.
Mm, 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 mm.
He stated today, the expert witness for the defense stated today that he did not read the transcripts. He did not read the stuff that was sent over to him. He said he did not need to read any of that. He didn't read thoroughly the policies, none of that. He said he made his expert opinion, because it was just his opinion. Everybody has an opinion. You know what they say about people and their opinions.
Mm-hmm.
He said he didn't need to do all of that. All he knew was his training over the years and the videos, and from what he's seen and him, he Derek Chauvin didn't do anything wrong.
Mm.
Right?
Ain't that a mess? Meanwhile, you had a slew of other witnesses who say otherwise.
I'm gonna still be prayerful that the jury, who are
That was
all
awful.
human beings, just see the reality of what it was. It was wrong. And
Mhm.
I don't care who you are, you're not going to argue with these doctors, or the doctors, period. The medical examiners, they got up there and told you what happened,
Mhm.
period. And we seen what happened.
All,
It's
they about
really
to,
sad, to continue to watch it over and over again, to hear that man um, begging for his life. The witness today, the expert witness today, tried to say that George was still resistant when he was trying to breathe. He looked at that as being resistant
yeah, I
when
seen
he
that.
was
Which
I was
is
trying
like,
to
crazy, especially
when
with
he
when you look at the doctor. Even the doctor is saying this man was putting his arm and his hand against the wheel, trying to lift up to like get air,
to
like he's
breathe,
trying to live.
to breathe. to breathe, and that's what the prosecution lawyer asked him. So he said, "So trying to breathe is resisting arrest? Like when you're trying to breathe, it's resisting arrest?" He's like, "Well, no, but."
He's literally fighting for his survival.
And
Resisting arrest.
and the one cop that was the defense, he he heard the call over his radio,
Mhm.
and it wasn't a call for everybody to show up, but he showed up anyway. He turned his lights on and he showed up anyway on the scene. And
Who's
he was
this?
directed, one of the cops, the defense called on the stand today. I forget his name. He was like a Chinese cop or whatever. But once he got on the scene, he was
Agent.
directed to go stand guard of the two people that was in the car with George.
Okay.
Um, he said that the grilling crowd was really aggressive. If they were so aggressive, why ain't nobody call for backup?
And why ain't
If
they
they were
get
so aggressive and Derek Chauvin was so distracted by that, he never even took his hand out of his pocket.
That's because they didn't need backup and they weren't so aggressive. We've already
right?
said before, we've seen bouncers at a club contain bigger crowds than that. Y'all are trained officers. Please get out of here with that.
Derek Chauvin is going to jail.
Period.
Definitely. The defense is they're weak. Their their arguments are weak.
I just got to keep in mind throughout these last couple of weeks that it is Derek Chauvin's right to have somebody represent him. I guess if I was in a position like him, I would want somebody to represent me
Mm-hmm.
and try to get me as less time as possible or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
he's entitled to that. Um, but he's going to jail.
Yeah,
He
because
killed that
when you
man.
when you really think about it, the defense attorney don't have a lot to work with. You know what I
He do
mean?
not.
At the end of the day, so it's like he's grasping at straws, trying to throw stuff at the wall and hope it stick. You know what I mean? Like
What he's doing is trying to get one juror to have doubt, reasonable doubt. All he needs is one.
just one.
So he's really like that's all he needs. That's all he was. That's all he's been trying to do over these last couple of weeks is to
Yo,
raise doubt in just one juror.
remember the
Mm-hmm.
OJ trial? I thought OJ was about to be done for it
I think we all did, but when
until
we
all
found out he
that
was
racist
acquitted,
stuff came out at the end of the trial. Like the defense didn't have anything, and then at the end they threw up a Hail Mary and won that shit.
but now, how many years later is this? Do y'all think? Let me ask y'all this: do y'all think OJ is guilty?
Definitely.
I knew OJ was guilty then. I was
I don't know if I gave him much thought then, but now that I've seen everything and all the evidence, he definitely was guilty. It just
I
wasn't a one
did.
man show. It wasn't just a one man show though.
But you know what? I think I read something a few years back who was saying, and the article was like saying they don't necessarily feel like it was OJ that did it, but they made a good point or built up enough um, evidence to where it could possibly be his son. If y'all can Google this, because you know Google is our friend. If y'all can Google this, please do it because I was looking like, wow, I had never thought about that. But
I
I'm
always thought it was OJ or he had somebody do. I always thought he was guilty.
and
Even when the
and
trial happened, like I always thought he was guilty.
and after watching the Nicole Smith movie,
Nicole Brown,
Nicole Brown movie, there was a serial killer running around at that time too.
yeah, but I don't think this was that.
I
They
mean,
ain't
I'm just
killed
saying.
Nicole Brown and Ron Goldman.
Yeah, I'm just saying. At the end of the day, there's a lot of open, holes to that story. But OJ did that shit. He had something to do with it.
What
Mm-hmm.
I've learned personally and just by watching these trials and the court system and how the court system, how these prosecutors and these lawyers, defense lawyers, how the judges, how that shit work is absolutely insane. Like, you know what I'm saying? It always comes down to the littlest technical thing. You know what I mean? Just like the littlest doubt that one juror has, the defense done his job, even though it's fucked up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So even the judge was looking at the witness that the defense had on there today, his expert witness, like, are you serious? Or like, are you serious? So
that's the problem with the video being out like that, because even white people's looking at it like this and shit is wrong. The shit's wrong. Shit's wrong. Shit's wrong.
Mm-hmm. And I don't want to jump over, but we did touch on that officer from West Virginia. I just want to double back on that real quick because that incident took place in December. Mm-hmm. Just like with the incident of the black music producer whose video was just released a couple of days ago from California, who is suing those police officers there. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't even see that.
That's what I'm saying, and that happened, and they fought the LA Police Department fought to not allow that footage to even be released.
I didn't even see it yet.
So what I'm trying to say is, had those videos not be released, these police would not even be held accountable at all. Like, you know what I mean? With that cop in Virginia, the military lieutenant, he did absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing.
For remaining calm.
And that happened in December. It is now April, and they just now releasing that footage of that camera. And do y'all know that cop was talking shit to that man?
Yeah, they got the audio for it. That shit was crazy.
He was saying to that man how if he's going to take a light on him because he's able to make it whereas though he gets fired from the military and they going to look at him like this and he could be dishonorably discharged, like all of this shit that he was saying. So basically wanting the lieutenant to thank him for not doing really what he could have did, because what he did wasn't really nothing. All he had to do was comply.
But comply for what? So like, what you're pulling me over for what? Because they said something about tags, but the tags was in the
tag was in the window. They pulled him over because he was a black man in the Tahoe with tinted windows. Period.
Imagine if dude was a high hitter or something. He would have been dead.
But do y'all see how maddening it is to be a black person in this country? Like, you literally enlist to fight for the freedoms of all Americans, and this is how you're treated?
Since the beginning of time.
This is how you're treated? Isn't that like sickening, maddening? I don't know. It's crazy.
It's really, really sad because the people in power, or a little bit of power, they don't even have a lot of power. They could do and maneuver and manipulate shit to where as though that shit'll fuck up your whole life.
For sure.
I could see where if somebody saw this incident, if a black person or any person of color saw this incident and nobody black wanted to enlist in the armed forces again, could you be mad?
No, I couldn't be mad. I'm surprised that nobody in the military or anything has spoken up on that young man's behalf to stand with him.
Well, I think his commanding officer did, was just saying how proud they was of him.
Oh, okay.
He conducted himself.
Yeah, it's over for that Gutierrez or whatever that cop.
Yes. So, yes.
It's wild.
Dude was so mild-mannered until we got pepper sprayed. He was cool, or mace. He was cool the whole time.
Well, before I was talking about that one quote: "To be black and conscious in America is to be in a constant state of rage." That is James Baldwin. I looked it up after the fact, but
That's a good quote.
It is.
Did y'all watch that Joey Badass thing on Netflix? It's called Two Strangers or something like that.
no.
No.
Yeah, it's about police brutality. It's only like a half an hour long.
Oh.
No, is that? But I think I did see an advertisement for it. It's like a short film or whatever. And
Yeah,
it's about a black dude who meets a girl and hooks up with her and all that.
it's like Groundhog Day.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have to check it out. But I think we had one more thing on the docket today, and we were talking about we were going to talk about the Johnson vaccine. But do you want to talk about what we recently went through with COVID or no?
Hmm?
You don't want to talk about that.
As far as what we recently went through with COVID,
Yeah.
we could. I mean, we could talk about it. I don't care about
Here's
it.
what I'll
You just
say.
can't. You can't really say nobody's name or.
I definitely would never do that.
Yeah.
But what I will say is that we over Easter weekend went to a few events or whatever.
I went to one event. Oh no, I went to two.
I went to four. Is it four? I went to four. I went to four events. Come to find out, there were people who were positive for COVID-19 at these events. So we were kind of like,
It was real.
It got real the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday after the fact until we got tested. But I think the reason why I'm saying this is I really want people to take it seriously. Like, I think because so much time passed, and I'm only speaking for myself on this. I don't know how you're supposed to talk, but because so much time passed and I had not contracted COVID-19, I got a little bit laxed on my precautions and stuff like that. But that weekend, it got really real, like really real. Thank God I didn't test positive. I did get a test once I was notified that I had been in contact with a couple of people who tested positive, but I just need people to know that it's not a game out here.
My biggest thing is I wasn't told about I ain't going to call it outbreak, but the infection
outbreak
until I was already at the event. I feel like if I was notified responsibly, but
there was an attempt.
Huh?
There was an attempt.
No, I wouldn't say there was an attempt.
I would say.
I mean, an attempt would be to still text it to me. I didn't know what the call was about. How was I supposed to know? I was at work.
Well, listen. When you say you're going to call me back when you get off, you should be calling me back when you get off.
Listen, information like that should be made sure I'm aware of that. Honestly, you text me if I need to know something.
Well, I think regardless of what, we're not going to put the onus on me or whatever.
I'm just saying.
I made an attempt, whatever.
I got a question. How was the test? How was the swab and all of that stuff?
It was fine for me.
Yeah, it's easy. Easy.
I got a mouth
It wasn't. Swab. Oh, you did the mouth swab?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so they're not going in your nose anymore?
They will, but what it was is they were just asking me if I had eaten or drinking anything in the past 20 minutes, and if I hadn't, then they could do the mouth swab. But if I had, then they would have had to go up in my nose.
So which test is more effective? Is there a more effective way?
They're both the same.
No, they're both the same. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, well, that's good to know. I didn't know anything about a mouth swab. I don't think, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got the mouth. My daughter got the nose.
oh, well, I'm glad you guys are safe.
Thank you.
You guys weren't positive for
Hmm.
COVID,
Through the grace of
and
God. Through the grace of
yes,
God.
continue to be blessed.
Hmm. Yeah, I just cannot reiterate because I feel like within the past month, I have come in contact, direct contact with about 3 or 4 people who have tested positive for COVID. So I feel like it's by the grace of God that I have not come out COVID positive. But just
I
to let
might.
people know, it's really not a game out here. So now, like me and my daughter have scaled it back. We got laxed and started doing different things or whatever that we wasn't doing when we first had got found out about the pandemic. But now I went back to the scaling it back again because that scared me. It really did. And then talking to people who are close to me who had described how they were feeling being positive for COVID-19, it was like really scary, really scary.
Well, I think I'm immune now. So.
All right. So, you know,
Nah, I'll still be cautious. Like I said, I'm the type of person that probably even a couple weeks after they lift the mask mandate, I'll still probably wear it. Like I'm trying to be a
you
little
gonna be out here
cautious.
like Michael Jackson and blanket.
For sure. Michael Jackson was ahead of his time. Definitely.
So, what about the Johnson vaccine? You said something about.
Um, Certain people came down with the blood clots. It was I want to say 6 women from the age of 18 to 48 or something like that.
That's a
Um,
huge gap.
that's a huge gap. Dr. Fauci was trying to say, don't worry because it's not even 1% of how many people got the shot. But um, at the end of the day, you don't want
How
it to
can you
happen.
tell me don't worry?
You don't want it to happen to anybody. And see, my big thing is
One person is too many.
One
exactly.
person is too many. This is the beta version of the vaccine. Like,
And
And I don't understand why they want people to trust Johnson and Johnson.
my big
right.
thing is I don't understand how you could be a celebrity and just vouch and say these things work when you don't know. Just because you got the shot don't mean that you're an expert of
And
what it does.
everybody's different. Everybody's going
Everybody,
to react to
definitely.
things differently. You don't know what somebody might be on an everyday medication. You don't know how that drug is going to interact with that drug. Like everybody's different. People might have underlying conditions that they don't know that they even have, but by getting that vaccine, that Johnson vaccine or whatever vaccine could bring out those underlying conditions. I don't know. I'm nervous.
Now let me get this straight. I'm not anti-vaccine or nothing like that. I just feel like what Jessica said. These are the beta versions, so be careful what you're doing as far
Mm-hmm.
as getting just letting people stick you with anything. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm not against getting the vaccine once it's proven. But because honestly, we had to get shots as kids, but
Absolutely. I'm not against vaccines at all. Actually,
yeah,
um,
it's just like
I'm curious to know how it went whenever the vaccines that we know now that are life changing and life savings came into play in the years that they came into play.
What,
The
like
measles and
smallpox
mumps
or?
vaccine, yeah, like the measles and mumps vaccine or the polio vaccine. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
These are things that people were dying from too. There was a polio epidemic too. You know what I mean? I'm just curious to know how that went in that time frame with the people who needed to get vaccine because I do know for the polio it was scary for people. Kids were normal one day and then the
yeah,
next day they weren't able to walk. Like
yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Those
In
videos look crazy when you be seeing that.
exactly, and we now have a vaccine that prevents that. Like you know what I mean? Um, a more recent vaccine that I didn't even think about was the chickenpox vaccine.
Yeah, because I was
Remember?
about to say that. People don't really be getting chickenpox no more.
They got a vaccine for it.
We used to be chicken poxed up.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And it was like it was a thing where as though I remember like you wanted to get it so you could become immune to it. Like you know what I'm saying? So if your friend got the chicken pox, you was trying to get the chicken pox. I didn't get them until I was 15 years old, and I didn't get them really, really bad, but at the time that I got them, I actually was pregnant. And the day that I found out I had the chicken pox, my baby shower was that day.
What's the difference
And
between chickenpox and shingles?
Mm, I don't know.
I only thing I think that is the difference is
Eggs?
where it attacks.
Uh,
Um, because it's they're all like in the same group.
so can you get shingles if you had the chickenpox vaccine or no?
I don't know.
I don't know that.
I'll probably look it up after we get done. That's something I would like
Yeah.
to just. I just
So,
never
but what I
thought
wanted
about
to
it like
say
that.
was, I still had my baby shower that day, knowing that I had chickenpox. It was not a good judgment call
That's
because
terrible.
I didn't get it that bad. You didn't know I had them, not unless I told you, because they were like on my back, on my bum, like you couldn't visibly see them on me.
Hmm.
But I know three people who attended my baby shower got chickenpox, and one person got them really, really, really bad. Like I feel bad to this day because she got them really, really bad, and she was pregnant. She had to be hospitalized.
Oh
But
man.
you know what though? That's what I'm saying about this whole COVID thing because I think you guys were saying maybe Tommy mentioned something about it last time we talked, but it's like people. I guess there's some sort of shame associated with it because people kind of like treat you like maybe like you got the HIV or whatever. But it's so important for you to either take
The head,
responsibility
what's the
and
head?
quarantine
HIV?
yourself
Yeah.
or
Oh, that's near.
and let people know. You know, that's messed up. Especially like I think in a lot of situations people might be unsure and they might get their test done and be waiting for the results but still be going about their like no, if you're getting your test, you need to be in the house until you get your results back.
Swear. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
So
Because it's serious out here. Don't be
it
gallivanting all
is.
out and you just oh well I don't feel sick. No, you can still be a carrier. So some I don't know. I wouldn't have did it. I wouldn't do it. Sorry.
Well, hopefully that they will get the vaccine together, whereas though we all can get the vaccine and know for 100% certainty that is good for us.
Johnson and
Yeah,
Johnson, get
well,
y'all shit together, B.
I know. And we need to get past the beta version because I like right now, even with my COVID scare, I'm still not doing it. Not unless I'm forced to.
Yeah, I think enough people's getting vaccinated at a pace to where if we do our job, just like I'm acting like Dr. Fauci, if we do our job and keep our social distance and our mask on just for a little longer, we could defeat this thing.
We might be able to, but another thing that I don't think people are talking about enough is these multiple strains
Yeah, I was just talking about
that
that
would be
today.
ineffective, possibly with the vaccine. I mean, the vaccine might be ineffective towards these multiple strains. We don't know that yet, but it's possible, right?
You can't tell me they ain't making this shit up in the lab.
Yeah. So they're talking about a fourth wave. If there's a fourth wave of and it's a different strain,
That's
Look,
it's
how
scary.
sick is this? How sick is this? They giving us stimulus checks for population control. Like the people that's passing away, they just giving us the money they would have been making. Like, what
That's
if that's what it
crazy.
really is? What if they like, we could give y'all more money, but we gotta kill off more people?
mm-hmm. Mm.
That's crazy.
You never know what the underlining of some of this shit is, though, honestly.
You do
You
not.
don't.
But
Well,
I don't want to
guys.
get us kicked off any platform or anything, so I'm gonna stop talking about anything to do with
No,
Right.
I mean, I don't think you'll get kicked off. I'm just like, well, the last live we had was 2 hours. This one's at an hour and about 15.
what else you want to talk about.
I don't know. Are we? I know y'all had some things to say about Snowfall. I can't contribute, but
You
Oh.
want to talk about Shameless before we talk about Snowfall?
Yeah, let me just say shout out to the cast and the directors of Shameless. I stumbled upon Shameless years ago by accident. It was on the third episode in the first season, and I fell in love. So I went back and watched the episodes that I missed, and I've been hooked ever since. I watched the series finale of Shameless Sunday, and I cried. It was really, really sad to see. Spoiler alert, you should have watched it by now. It's Tuesday. I was really sad to see Frank finally die. If you have watched Shameless over the years,
I
Frank
have.
had more lives than a cat. What they
He
say,
did.
cats have 9 lives. Frank
Mhm.
had those. This time he left. So
Oh,
I literally have watched the kids on Shameless grow up. Carl, Ian, Lip, Fiona, Debs, Liam. Like we've literally watched these kids grow up to who they are now. So I thought that the writing on it was absolutely outstanding because the characters and the things that I watched over the years were so relatable. We have Gallagher's right here in our hood. Like, there's some Gallagher's up the street or down the street or whatever.
Mhm. Do
That's
you
all I
think
wanted
it
to say
being
about.
based out of Ohio make it easier to relate to because it's so like you said, it's common to a
So
lot of people?
close. Maybe that's it. I don't
wait, what
know.
did you
But
say?
Huh?
What did you say?
I said them being like Ohio type of family. You know,
They're
like
from Chicago.
I thought it was Ohio they was from.
Chicago.
Oh well,
Chicago.
my fault. I apologize. For some reason, I thought they was
Okay.
out of Ohio.
I'm like, oh, okay.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I
so
do think they're
but that's all I
relatable.
had to say about Shameless. They ended it. And Frank, I don't want to keep saying finally, but he did. He finally died.
Oh,
It was really if you really looked at it with a serious eye, it was really sad to watch somebody really drink themselves into dementia and die. And it happens to people. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That is it.
okay. Well, Shameless. Shameless has had its series finale, but I definitely want you guys to keep Handmaid's Tale on your radar for the end of this month. I think it's April
Okay.
28th that it starts. So if you haven't been watching, go ahead and start watching now because the new season starts on
Okay.
April 28th, I do believe. And that is like one of my favorite shows, Handmaid's
All
Tale.
right.
Watch it.
All right.
I'll watch Hammy. I'm gonna try to watch it again.
All right.
All right.
Snowfall.
Yeah, Snowfall. Jeez Louise, what's going on Snowfall?
A lot.
I'm just glad he was able to kill that girl.
What girl?
The the one Franklin was messing around with.
Is she dead?
I thought Peaches ain't kill her. That's
It
how it ends.
ended.
That's how it ends right there. It ends
It
right there.
ends with him busting her. Like, I didn't know that there was anything after that. Like, we know that she probably will die, but I
Oh,
didn't
he
think
ain't
that
pulled
there.
the trigger.
No, I didn't think he pulled the trigger, but he
He got.
probably will pull the trigger.
Okay,
I knew
told
that
you
that
about
was
that.
going to happen. I knew that that was going to happen. I'm like, Franklin's in the house. When she was on the phone, I said to my husband, I was like, Franklin's there. Franklin's there. And he was there.
I still don't understand how he peeped it so fast. Though he was like, when he was all at the hospital, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna handle this or whatever." And he
I
went,
think that any person who is very aware of their surroundings and is able to read people really well, I feel like a lot of people could do that. I
he was too thirsty.
Yeah, and then she was just doing things out of her normal character when she first got with him.
Like, I
She
can
started
help you.
asking more
I can help
questions.
you.
She started butting in. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I start doing weird shit, like, motherfuckers gonna be like, what's up with you? They're gonna be looking at me with the side eye. So, um, Snowfall, I'm looking forward to watching the next episode because I don't know what's going to happen. It's really interesting.
It's messed up because I like Andre, but they don't end up killing him.
You think?
That's
I
your
hope
prediction?
not. But I like him.
I don't know what's going to happen. It's really really sad that
What's her name, guys?
Franklin's dad. What's his name?
Alton.
Franklin's dad.
Alton. Alton.
Ratting
Miss
him out to
Alton.
the reporter. I knew she was a goner when she first started coming around asking questions. It was just a matter of time for her.
I thought they was gonna kill her though.
If she report one more report, she's gonna be out of here.
Yeah, definitely for sure. Got the CIA on that ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think he. I don't know how he's gonna be able to survive another season, though, man. They got dude walking around like he ain't just kill a kid. Leon, he just be walking around.
I got a question from Snowfall. We're all parents. How do you feel about Franklin's mom and the role that she plays in her son's life? Knowing, full well what he does and how he does it to support them. Um, do you, do you think she's right in doing that?
No, I think she's
With
wrong, but I think she acts just how somebody would act if that was their own child, maybe.
Mm.
Okay, that makes a little bit of sense.
But I definitely feel like she's wrong. Especially when she started noticing the bodies dropping, and her son was the cause of the bodies dropping. I think she should have called him out on it and stopped fucking with him. Because the product was so new at the time, they didn't. She probably didn't know how bad it was doing. But when the violence started and the bodies really started dropping, she should have been like, "Yeah, you can't." So I'm surprised ain't nobody shoot up her house yet. Honestly,
Yeah, like, son, what are you doing? Like, son.
crazy. Her ass went to go braid Leon's hair.
She did.
So I'm like,
She
yo,
did.
mom, you got to stay out of this shit.
So one more thing before we go. I wanted to ask you guys, did you watch that show Them on Amazon?
I'm far in it. I'm like real far. I know you ladies just started watching it. So I don't
I
want to
did.
give anything away. I'll wait for you guys to catch up.
Okay.
All right, I want
From the first episode that I watched, I had the an inkling that it may be scary. Is it
Um,
scary?
there's just so much going on.
if
I'm
Because
it's
I
scary
don't
watching.
like
places,
scary
I'm
movies.
scared.
That's why I was really hesitant about watching it.
There's certain parts I wouldn't say this scary, but there's certain parts that like ghosts and things like that. You know what I mean?
Okay. I
Um,
mean, I'm not into watching scary movies, so that's why I was hesitant about watching it. But my husband put it on anyway,
this thing goes
and I
a
did watch
million
the first
different
episode, and I
places.
was just like, okay,
Yeah, it goes a million different places.
it
You,
does.
I would love to hear you guys' take on it once you get as far as I am, honestly.
What happened to her son? I'm confused. In that first episode, she
You'll
had a son.
it'll make sense. It'll make
Okay, I can't ask
we
that
will
question.
definitely
Okay,
listen.
But do this feel like this show? I wanted to ask you guys. Does this show feel like a Jordan Peele ripoff?
Yes,
Okay.
100%. It
All
was
right.
like we gonna turn it up 12 notches. We
That's
gonna
what
make
I
it like
that's
that
what
and
I
turn it
got from it the first episode that I watched.
100%.
But I guess I'll still
okay.
watch a couple more.
But some of the places it take you, you be like, is the rider black or white?
Mm.
So I mean, it take you a whole lot of places. So.
Well, I will be checking that out.
Me
The
too.
rest
I'm
of the
gonna check out
episodes.
more. I might watch another one tonight because I did last night. I had to get caught up on my show Good Girls. I know y'all don't watch that, but I
If
had to
both
watch
of y'all finish this, I'll be amazed. If both of y'all finish this,
what them.
Okay.
yeah,
I'll finish it.
I,
I
I'll
think a
finish it.
lot goes on to the point where you might be like,
I
No, I'm gonna
might say
finish it.
fuck
I'm gonna
it.
watch another. I swear I'm gonna watch another episode tonight. Them Amazon.
All
All right,
right.
y'all.
all right,
Y'all got
it's get,
anything else?
it's getting late. I need to eat something.
Yeah, me too.
All right, guys.
All right, love
Until
y'all.
next time.
See y'all
Yep.
next time.
Peace out. Bye.